Dominica will be talking in a few minutes here. This is Talk on the Block. Good afternoon. My name is Matt Peltier. Some people like it the long way, Matthias, if you prefer that, Joe. Some big news there, boy, from the USA, and I'm sure have a lot of people trembling to their feet there. Big campaign promise from Donald Trump. Well, did you hear 60 Minutes? If you did not hear, listen.
What about the pledge to deport millions and millions of undocumented immigrants?
What we are going to do is get the people that are criminal and have criminal records, gang members, drug dealers. We have a lot of these people, probably 2 million, it could even be 3 million. We're getting them out of our country or we're going to incarcerate. But we're getting them out of our country, they're here illegally. After the border is secured and after everything gets normalized, we're going to make a determination on the people that you're talking about.
Okay, so almost immediately, Donald Trump is thinking of deporting some 3 million people. What will this mean for the Caribbean economies and more? We'll talk about that in a while, but we need to take a cruise. I'll tell you with who. Coming back after this. They're called Decide on Dominica. And I know you're wondering, just what is this? Well, I have 2 beautiful ladies in studios and they'll talk to me about Decide on Dominica. So we're taking the cruise for the next few minutes. Can you bring the microphone a little closer to you? Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon, Matt.
And welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Matt.
You look like you're a little shy. Don't you worry, I'm not going to bite. I'm here. We all here. Decide on Dominica. Let's talk a little about that. What's going on?
Okay, well, we are a company located in Roseau, upstairs Western Union and DHL. We're offering unique and customized experiences all around the world, and for 2 individual and groups, and we are specialized in cruises.
You're specializing in cruises. So what is it that you're actually offering to the Dominican people? And maybe somebody out there are listening at this time. So you specialize just in cruises?
No, we specialize not only in cruises, but also in vacation packages all across the world. We are also heavily involved in promoting the Whitey Kubuli Trail. We just had a few persons here who did most of the segments. And
have you done it yourself?
I've done a few of the easy ones.
The easy ones. So.
Yes.
Okay. So you're promoting the trail. But
Yes.
What is the reaction thus far?
People are very interested. We went to a conference where one of the challenges is that a lot of persons who are coming actually want to be backpackers, and we're trying to move away from that concept and have them actually staying in, guest houses, hotels, depending on which
Sleepovers, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
All right. So, but we're here, I suspect, more to talk about the cruise or cruises that you're offering. What is it that you're offering at this time?
Well, today, basically, we want to promote more specifically our Panama Canal cruise.
A Panama Canal.
Yes.
It almost jumped out of my mouth. I want to go.
Yes, the engineering marvel of the world. So basically, the cruise is departing, well, we'll be departing Dominica on the 29th of March of next year. Persons will be spending one night in Fort Lauderdale. That leaves a half day of shopping, because you know people who goes to Florida and not shop. A half day of shopping, because the cruise is actually departing Florida on March 28th in the afternoon, about 4 p.m. thereabout. Then the cruise returns on the 7th of April, and persons will be returning to Dominica on the 8th of April. So then they go get another full day of shopping. So what you did not get to do on the 27th, you get to do on the 7th. For shipping, we also, well, we are part of Millennium Ventures. We can arrange shipping for persons through Econo Carib, so that's no worries there.
All right, so I want to stick on that cruise there for a minute there, because it sounds fascinating. But a question that everybody usually asks, the first question, how much, right? You see, she's asking the question out of the... How much is this going to cost me? Because it sounds like almost an expensive venture. Well, is it expensive? Yes and no?
No,
No, it's not.
It's reasonably priced.
Okay.
The price is actually $3,600 US. It includes everything. So you have the cruise, inclusive of all the port charges, taxes, 2 nights accommodation in Fort Lauderdale with breakfast, your transfers to the cruise port, from the cruise port to the airport, from the airport.
Okay, so let's repeat the price again.
It's $3,600 US, starting from per person in an inside cabin for 2 persons.
The airfare is included.
Yes.
as
Oh yeah,
well.
and the airfare is most importantly the airfare.
Oh, so
is
it's a package then.
It's an entire
From
package. You
Dominica,
have
yes.
nothing to worry about.
And it's a 7-day cruise?
Yes.
No, it's a 10 nights,
yes.
11 days cruise.
Wow.
There's a bit of distance in between the countries for the Panama Canal, so this cannot be done in 7 days unless you actually start the cruise in Central America.
And it goes to Aruba, Colombia, Panama Canal, Panama, Costa Rica, Jamaica, and back to Fort Lauderdale.
All right, can you repeat that for me, please?
Yes.
These all the
Starts from Fort
designer.
Lauderdale, then Aruba,
It goes to Aruba,
yes, then Colombia,
Colombia.
Panama Canal, partial transit, doesn't go across. Otherwise, you'll have to go to Seattle.
And take a 21-day cruise.
Yes.
Okay.
And then it goes to Panama, Colon in Panama, then Puerto Limon, Costa Rica, Montego Bay, Jamaica, and back to Fort Lauderdale.
That's a splendid cruise, huh?
Yes. And also what you have to keep in mind that all the cruises are inclusive of full breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snack. So you can eat basically for the whole day.
All inclusive.
Yes.
Yes.
Not for the drinks, but for the food. You can eat all day as much as you want. There's no limit. Also, you have access to the fitness center, and there is daily entertainment program as well as evening shows. And if you want to go with the kids, sometimes you never know, there is a fully supervised children program for the age 4 to 12.
What cruise ship are we talking about? We haven't touched on that.
The Coral Princess.
The Coral Princess.
Princess Cruises.
If somebody listening at this time, because of the time, of course, we have limitations. Who do we contact? How do we contact you?
Okay, so you can contact Decide on Dominica. Our office number is 255-1104. 255-1104. And for all the technologically savvy young persons, we do offer WhatsApp services as well. It's on 616-8946.
Can you go online? Can you?
Yes, everything is on our Facebook. You just search for Decide on Dominica on Facebook.
10-day cruise there. It's sounding tempting there, and you have a lot of time. You started early promoting this.
Yes.
Yes.
We offer layaway plan. So if you don't have the money up front, you can just give us a deposit, and then we'll arrange together with your budget and make sure you can take the cruise.
All right. So again, we need some numbers. I know somebody's lying, sitting, and saying, wow, this is the dream cruise that I was talking about. Here is the opportunity
Yes.
to cruise for 10 days.
Yes, so call us at 255-1104 and ask for Makisha or Dominique.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's it.
Just come and see us and we're taking care of everything for you.
Okay. Wow. Decide on Dominica. Well, I hope you decide on Panama. Go see this world wonder.
We also have a small promotion ongoing for this, only for this particular cruise. Persons who book by December 12th are entitled to 75 US rebate.
Okay.
Cash.
75 US cash.
Yes.
All right. Sounds tempting. I know your lunchtime. You're saying, I'm going to go to Panama there for 10 days. Let's take a phone call here. Somebody may be inquiring. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon, Matt.
Uh-huh.
I called to find out when is the cruise.
Oh, you missed that. Tell her when is the cruise.
The cruise will be departing on March 27th of next year.
Did you get that?
And return on
The April 8th.
April 8th.
7 and April 8th.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
You're thinking about it, right?
And give me the price again.
The starting price is 3,600 US per person based on 2 persons in the cabin.
Based on 2 persons in the
Yes,
cabin. And
and
what
it's
is
an
3
inside
persons?
cabin. If it's 3 persons, I have worked out that price already, but I do not have it with me. What you could do is either call me at 255-1104 or 616-8946,
Okay.
and I can give you that price.
Are you taking me with you?
Matt, give me a break.
No, I want to be outside. I want to be outside, not
I am
inside.
not going anywhere. I'm just curious.
Yes, right. Okay.
Bye.
Take care now. Take care. All right. Well, we want to say thank you for coming. I'm sure I'll be seeing you
coming.
again.
Yes.
Of course. So
For your cruise, right?
Yes. Yes, for a cruise.
Because you also offer visa cruise if you want to be.
These are free cruises.
Yes. Are you gonna give me a free cruise? The last time. No, we'll talk about that some other time. Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right. So inquire, decide on Dominica. Give us your number again one more time.
255-1104.
All right. 255-1104. It was a pleasure today. Come back sometime. All right. Thank you. Thank you. Now for the big story that everybody's talking about. On 60 Minutes,
What about the pledge to deport millions and
Donald Trump had this to say.
What we are going to do is get the people that are criminal and have criminal records, gang members, drug dealers. We have a lot of these people, probably 2 million, it could even be 3 million. We're getting them out of our country or we're going to incarcerate. But we're getting them out of our country, they're here illegally. After the border is secured and after everything gets normalized, we're going to make a determination on the people that you're talking about.
Donald Trump pledging to deport some 3 million people. On the line with me, Thompson Fontaine. Good afternoon to you, Dr. Thompson.
Very good afternoon to you, Matt, and to your many listeners. Good afternoon.
I heard you discussing to a certain extent yesterday on your show, Thompson, the likely repercussions and implications. And now you're hearing it from the man himself, President-elect Donald Trump, promising to deport some 3 million illegal immigrants from his country. What are the likely repercussions there, Thompson?
Well, Matt, I listened carefully to what they had to say, and I think there is no real cause for harm for the very simple reason he's referring specifically to individuals who have been incarcerated, individuals who have some kind of criminal record, and who are already known to the authorities. In which case it becomes a reason. Right now, for example, if you don't have a green card and you're arrested for any crime, you generally tend to serve your time and then you are deported after due process. What would most likely happen is that once you go through the court system, you would be shipped out right away. So I think that is what he is referring to. He is not tackling the other 8 million or so people who are in the U.S., who are working, who are paying taxes, and who are already part of the system. So in that case, I think he's very careful, but because you would recall...
So you're saying you don't think that he's referring specifically to these illegal immigrants who are behaving themselves, but more to those who are in the country and committing crime?
Yes, absolutely, man. You see, because these individuals, they have some level of control. Because if you have to deport ordinary people who are part of the system, who may be on the ground, but they still would be extremely difficult. You would have to find out where they are, where they live, and so on. It is different for people who are already in contact with the justice system. And it's a lot easier because they're within the justice system, they know how to find them, they know how to reach them. And it's a lot easier to get the people out of the country. And I think that's what he was saying in 60 minutes. They would do that immediately. Now, the other 8 million people who are undocumented but who are living in the United States, I think that's a different story. That would be a logistical nightmare, as I said. Also, you would get people who would have a lot of protest because it would mean, for example, that you would have to separate families. There are children who are born to undocumented families. You would have to leave those kids, without parents in some cases in the United States. That would not fit well with civic groups and other human rights groups at all.
But let's stick to the issue of, what he spoke about in terms of this gang members, this criminals in the system. If these people, all of those people, Dominica definitely will be affected. But I'm sure there's some Dominicans, quote unquote, who have committed crime in the system. You know what that would the likely repercussions of sending these gang members and criminals back to these Caribbean countries or back to these Caribbean economies?
Matt, well, that would have some serious implications for the Caribbean economies and the Caribbean countries. We simply cannot handle these individuals. And already within in the normal course of business where you've had criminals being returned to various Caribbean countries, you've seen the kind of havoc that has created and the inability of local authorities to actually handle and deal with them. So if you're talking about a 5-fold, a 10-fold, a 20-fold increase in the numbers of individuals, that's going to create some serious problems for the not only justice system in the Caribbean, but also for the regular cost of doing business in the Caribbean countries. So that is something that we need to watch very, very closely.
And that crime will spiral, tenfold.
There's no doubt about it. These are, in some cases, a very sophisticated criminals who will come down with the methods of crime in our island. And that is something that I don't know how we can actually even prepare for that.
I don't think, these Caribbean economies are prepared, Caribbean countries are prepared to deal with this wave of persons being deported, you know, to the Caribbean. We're talking. He's talking about 3 million people to the Caribbean, or not necessarily the Caribbean, but out of America.
That's correct. That's correct. You know, so you're going to see, Matt, I believe, from the Caribbean region, you're going to see very, very quickly the different governments making representation to the U.S. authorities not to move on that particular issue, because the impact for the region would be devastating, simply devastating.
Well, let's still, talk to a story that's somewhat similar there. The IMF, we've been told, confirms that threat to Caribbean economies. Global banks withdraw corresponding banking relations. We've been talking about this for a while now. That now the IMF is saying a significant threat to Caribbean economies has emerged as global banks withdraw their corresponding banking relations in these countries. The International Monetary Fund has confirmed corresponding banking with global banks allows smaller banks access to these international payment systems, facilitating money transfers through transactions such as wire transfers, check clearing, and currency exchange. Without these banking relations, businesses are cut off from international trade and financing. Families are unable to collect remittances from relatives working abroad, and foreign investors may be unwilling to invest if there is a risk they will be unable to repatriate their profits. Thompson Fontaine, more bad news.
Bad news indeed, and I've been, sounding that alarm for many months now, and probably now we will take more serious because it's coming from the IMF. But what's really going on, and what people need to understand, another thing about corresponding banking relationship is that every single transaction, foreign exchange transaction, every time a dollar is sent from overseas, it must go to the banking system. And in order for it to go to the banking system, a U.S. bank must back up the local bank in Dominica. When they withdraw this corresponding banking relationship, it means that they're no longer willing to do business with banks in the Caribbean region. So effectively, the flow of foreign currencies into the island is going to stop. That's what that means. So you're talking about transfers to MoneyGram, to Western Union, or the transfers done for the bank, wire transfers, payments for trade credits. All of these things are going to actually dry up. What that means, as the article rightly pointed out, is that you're going to have a problem with businesses, because no foreign business is really able to do business in the region unless they want to go back to a date when they have to carry down suitcases of money. And that's not a very good way to do business. So we are facing a very serious problem. Now, the question is what is being done about it, and why it is that it is actually happening. The problem you're having there, Matt, is that the U.S. authorities are penalizing very, very strongly the banks that do business with Caribbean banks that are then found to be involved in money laundering. And it is very punitive. In one case, when they actually did it, I think it was to HSBC, that amounted to billions of dollars that they had to pay fine, of $19 billion. No bank wants to go for that level of hassle and potential loss for doing transactions with the Caribbean bank. That's only a fraction of that. If you compare the fines that they will have to pay compared to the amount of business that they're doing in the Caribbean islands, it is not worth the risk for them. And that's the reason why they're saying, well, okay, bye-bye, Caribbean bank. And unless the Caribbean banking system addresses this issue of money laundering, unless the government takes it as a serious issue, we will all pay for it in the end.
But Thompson Fontaine, I mean, we've been hearing this for some time now as it relates to this corresponding banking relationships. And you explained there briefly, why now more than ever? Because we've been talking for a while, and it seems that it's on our doorsteps.
Yes, it is, man. At last count, when I did a survey about 2 months ago, it was up to about 12 banks in the region that had already lost that relationship. Now, the reason why we have not observed it is that if a bank loses its relationship, it can then piggyback on another bank. So, for example, I'm not saying that is the case. I'm giving you an example. Let's assume, for example, National Bank would lose its banking relationship. It could then piggyback with Scotiabank. And then you will not feel it as an investor. And that will continue until Scotiabank itself runs into problems. So that's what's been happening. 12 banks in the region have had those issues. Banks in Belize, in Guyana. I'm not aware of any banks in Dominica yet, but it has been happening through the region. What is considered now is that it does not seem to be stopping. If anything, it is accelerated. In other words, more banks are being closely watched. More banks have been issued warnings, and that is the situation that they have now. Because what happened, Matt, the youth authorities, they are set up on two fronts. One, you have a lot of money, coming through the private banking system to clean up what we call the typical money laundering issue. And then you have a lot of tax evasion matters as well, where you have one or two individuals who earn their money rightly or legally, yet they're using the current banking system to store this money and not pay taxes. And it's on those two fronts that the U.S. authorities are pushing back, A, to get their tax money back, but secondly, to try to prevent these money laundering efforts in the Caribbean region.
Well, I'll tell you what, Thompson, I think we need to be talking further on this. Your line is somewhat cracking, and we have to be in studios. You have to be in studios so we can hear you clear on some of those major repercussions or implications of just what is going on with these corresponding banks that we need to be aware of.
Indeed. So whatever we
yes, I will touch base with you, Thompson, when you can come in and we can talk about these things. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
We do appreciate that. This is the talk on the block. We'll keep you informed. This is your information station. Hello, talk to me here. Donald Trump says 3 million, including gangs and criminals. Hello, talk to me.
Let me tell you something, my brethren. Blessings to you.
Good afternoon to you, blessings.
The brother is saying what he means, but the brother is not saying nothing yet, Matt. And Matt, I'm sorry. But you see all that thing with the banking system there, Matt? This thing seems to be isolated incidents and coincidence. And well, you know how it always is already. They cannot do that. How they can go back and who tell you? Who is they referring to? They're not our little Caribbean politicians, If our Caribbean politicians, look at the level of violation, Matt. Matt, when I listen to that, I'm just saying they're just tightening the screws from 2008 with that financial collapse, Matt. You there with me?
Yes.
If you notice the sequence of events, financially or economically speaking, the world has never recovered more than those who have their billions and trillions that cannot touch them. They want to rearrange the whole world governing system. It's a new world order. Trump was his name there. It's not a coincidence. And a fellow say Rosomat. The code name is Matt Trump. I almost get noise with him. That's another story. You there with me, Matt?
I'm here.
So, Doc, you're saying who he mean to deport. Doc, you don't know. You may know, but being very diplomatic as a politician. But I, Matt, have concluded, and I'm nobody. I have no authority on anything. But I do research through the years and listening and observing and viewing and reading. And, Matt, we have not seen nothing yet, my brother. And, Matt, can you please tell me what Roosevelt carried to run England and do to the High Commissioner? Did he go and divorce himself from Baroness Scotland, who maybe link up, maybe, who was introduced to him by Baroness Scotland, introduced that woman from Nigeria to him, Madueke? Did he go and plead to please disassociate me from Baroness Scotland? Because, look, the Commonwealth countries are crying from India to Antigua. Look, the Prime Minister of England is asking for accountability. How does carried tied up into all of that. No wonder he rushed to England. Have a blessed day, bro. Thanks.
Paul, you're asking me a question that the Prime Minister can only answer. I don't know what he went there for. Okay? 1:37 is the afternoon time.
Be alert, we are in the flu season. Seasonal flu spreads easily. Practice good hygiene. If you're having symptoms like fever, cough, runny or stuffy nose, sore throat, body aches and headaches, chills and fatigue, you should observe the following. Avoid being in crowded places and in close contact with others. Use clean tissue to cover your nose and mouth when coughing or sneezing. Place used tissue in a garbage bin after single use. Wash your hands with soap and water and or use hand sanitizer often. If the symptoms worsen, seek medical attention. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
A message from the Ministry of Health and this station.
Wash your hands. Proper hand washing protects against the spread of many common illnesses and germs. Wash your hands often with soap and water, or you may use hand sanitizers. Remember, clean hands save lives. Protect yourself.
A message from the Health Promotion.
This is the Talk on the Block. I'm trying to touch base with my friend there, correspondent, journalist in St. Vincent. We're hearing that the police there will call into action on Monday morning with the discovery of two bodies in a house in the old Montrose section of the capital city, Kingston. Information is that a relative came to visit family members and found one lying dead in the veranda and the others in the inside of the house. The deceased persons are said to be a male and female, mother of a son. This brings to a total of 4 homicides over the past 12 hours. On Monday morning around 12:30, a man was killed in a park just on the outskirts of Kingston. His head was reportedly battered with a block. He also sustained stab wounds. In the early hours of Monday, November 14th, an elderly woman was killed in Kingston, a community within the capital. She too was battered in the head. try to get more information on just what is going down there in St. Vincent. Because just about 4 murders in 10 hours. On the weekend, we also had some Caddis action, the band competition. Carlisle, John Baptist is part of the organizing committee. Carlisle, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you. Good afternoon to you, many listeners. How are you, my brother?
All right, just monitoring and watching what's going on.
Yeah. I saw that situation in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. Very, very sad situation there.
It is, and I'm trying to get in touch with Kenton Chance there to basically give an update as to just what is going on.
I'm sure you'll get Kenton very soon.
I'm sure I'll try. I'll look at him. He's always willing to talk to us here at Q95. Carlisle, what went on with the Caddis Calypso competition there?
Well, of course, you would have heard that T.O.K.S. Matt, you the MC for the show, and we need to tell you, well done, congratulations. You've done 2 good shows for us, and we're pretty happy, and we want to thank the many patrons who came on board to assist in one way or another. The government of Dominica through the Windsor Park Stadium, who assisted us in hosting the second part of the show. We really want to thank them very, very much, and the many patrons who turned out. The show was a great success. Everything went as planned. Of course, you will have 1 or 2 hiccups. You want to thank the police who was present for maintaining law and order, and the many vendors, Kubuli, and everybody. T.O.K.S. made it 2-2. I think Brief came second, and
Signal Band.
Yes.
Came third. But there's some concern though as we speak, and people are not always happy with the results as it relates to the placing of the. I think they were generally satisfied with T.O.K.S., but the remaining places are not too happy. Can you tell us what went on there?
Well, man, I cannot tell you. Remember, I was not a judge. Mm-hmm. I was the judge's coordinator.
Okay.
Because Mr. De Gallery was was at another function, and I was the judge's coordinator until he came. After that, I handed over to him. I have heard people comment stating that yes, T.O.K.S. won. They have no issues with that. But I'm hearing also that Lucas Band should have been placed. That is what I'm hearing.
So that's the point of contention, that Lucas should have been placed in the top 3.
Yes, I saw the show myself, and Lucas Band, they were very good. Mm-hmm. They were very good. But the judges are the ones judging the show. I cannot say otherwise. The judge's decision is final. That is what the judges came up with, and who am I to go publicly chastising or questioning the judge's decision? Remember, it's not a paid job; it's a thank you job. So we have to be very, very careful.
But you understand, people will always criticize.
Well, yes, you expect that. But at the end of the day, that is how it is. At least they are satisfied with the winner, and we are happy with that. They are also satisfied with the individual winner who made 3 pits, and we are also happy with that. And we have to agree to disagree, and at the end of the day, we will move on. That is how it is. Judging is very, very subjective. Some people will have their own views, and some people will have other ideas, other views. But at the end of the day, the judge's decision always remains final, and there's absolutely nothing you, me, or any one of us can do with that. That is the decision of the judges.
So, but the show definitely, Carlisle, will continue in 2017, God's willing.
Oh yes, Matt. Once I'm around, I will push for that. The show is a trademark of the National Cooperative Credit Union. The National Cooperative Credit Union uses that show to basically push its products and its services that it's offering to the general public. And as you can see, 5 years the show is moving by leaps and bounds, and it continues to pick up. It's now become an annual feature during our independence celebrations. Last year, that was the only event that took place. We had no Creole in the Park. We had no World Creole Music Festival, and we've been playing with the dates, and probably I think we probably would have gotten it right now as to where we want that show to be selected. So hopefully, God willing, we should have that show around that same time of the year, and do a little bit more marketing, market it a bit earlier, because we started it very late, almost to the ending of August or thereabout, and we had a lot of hard work to do, pushing it, etc. Thanks again to Gordon Henderson, who came on board with us and did a fantastic job. And I want to publicly thank Gordon Henderson for a great show. Let not your heart be troubled, the patrons.
It may be very likely that he reappear, huh?
I'm just saying, let not your heart be troubled, because
I'm reading from that statement, Kalai, that you mean exactly what I'm telling you. But you might have a different view. Kalai, let's move on there quickly. We heard the chairman of the DBS Board of Directors, Rosie Mills, expressing concern over what he said are character assassination and programs calculated to incite people to break the law on other, take note, on other radio stations in Dominica. Speaking at a function to observe the station's 45th anniversary on the weekend, he did not name the radio station but said he has lost favor and divine intervention is needed. According to Mills, there are numerous radio stations now operating on the island, and that's fine, he stated. Information gets about faster in the age of information and technology. That is a given. However, he said he has a problem with some radio stations. But what irks me, I'm just quoting Mr. Mills here, what irks me is when some radio stations allow themselves to be used by persons to character assassinate others. This throws the whole fraternity into disarray, and worse, when those stations have programs calculated to incite persons to break the law, then radio has really lost its favor, and we need divine intervention. Can we fix this? You ask, of course. We can, if we only take commitment from a committed people and the resolve to do a 360. Any comments, Kalai John Baptist?
I listened to Mr. Mills this morning, and I just smiled, and I said, well, since he is asking for a 360 turnaround, he probably can come on board and work together with everybody to have that 360 turnaround.
Well, according to him, I mean, the nation station is just not involved in what he has referred to as character assassination. So he's pointing figures, but he has a few pointing back
at him.
Yes,
because I'm hoping that Mr. Mills, as chairman of DBS, would. Did he hear last week? When his general manager was doing Experience Creole, did he listen? I wonder if he listened when his general manager was doing Experience Creole, making certain comments. He probably did not. But whilst I tend to want to agree with him
to a certain extent, yes.
Yes, the contents of certain radio stations, some radio stations, be it Q95, be it Kyrie FM, whoever it is, some of the contents of its programming, certain things that are being said, I personally am of the view that much more can be done in terms of programming to deal with the situation, because we do have people who go on radio stations and even on Facebook and wherever it is and really assassinate people. That is being done. I see some comments, some people, and then I ask myself, what is going on? So his comments does bear some sort of merit. But, I mean, he also needs to do some introspection as it relates to the radio station that he is chairman of the board, as it relates to certain things, because he will want to look at his programming and probably want to assist us in further developing programs whereby we can make a big 360 turnaround to deal with such situation. He has what it takes. He has the radio station, So let's work together in that very light.
As you said, Kalai, some introspection needs to be done. Some introspection. Thank you very much, Mr. Mills. Thank you, Carline. 152 449-309-596 and 97. Criticism is good, but don't take the fingers away. You may have to do some finger pointing on yourself, Mr. Mills. And I'll leave it there. Hello, talk to me.
Matt?
Hi.
The lady, Miss Duran, did go to Dr. Christian, and he saw her this morning. I don't know if she's reported anything to you, but anyway.
No, thank you very much, because a lot of people have been inquiring.
Yes, okay. Well, she did go, and Sam was able to look at her, and he's going to send me a report, and I will see what next we need to do.
All right. So he's concerned, he's worried. Does he think that something can be done?
Yes, correct.
All right, something can be done.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much.
Not at all.
We do appreciate that, Dr. Schillenfeld, for taking that first step.
Yeah, take care, man.
Thank you. Thank you. So, Miss Jurai, it appears that the help may be on the way. 154, hello.
Yes, Matt. African brother.
Yes, my brother.
We want to know the latest of St. Vincent.
Okay, we're trying to find out. Okay?
Yeah.
Thank you. Unable to get in touch with my associate journalist down there in St. Vincent. We'll try again in the morning. Hello, talk to me.
Quickly, in the interest of time, you there with me?
Yes, go ahead.
That is the level of hypocrisy that exists in society. No wonder even the fabric of the family has been torn apart, and to weave it or sew it back together, it's almost impossible. Matt, have you heard politicians through the years assassinating each other character, Matt?
Oh, yeah.
And who incited his boss to break the law? So that level of hypocrisy. Boss, if you want to point fingers, sir, respectfully, so, hit the politicians, hit everybody. Don't come and say it's not radio stations, it's a society.
I know personally I'm attacked on the radio station, the other radio station, more, directly on Cairo FM on a number of occasions. I don't pay attention, blessings. You know me already, and I've told you and advise you, not to pay attention.
Even when I tell you, Matt, look, I say, I don't even worry with them fellas, let them talk, But I'm just saying.
I always say, and the Obama lady has said, when they go low, go high.
Yeah, well, okay, that's a good way to put it. But, Matt, I just want to say, if people want to talk about the ills of society, try not to be selective about it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Yes, why do we have to be, oh boy, selective? Too much hypocrisy in that place. One set can say and the other set are not allowed to. Too much hypocrisy. Let's take a little of Barrington Levy before we go. A little of Barrington. This one they call Hypocrites.